guys, this is the Lala Legacy, and welcome back to another episode of Cinderella Phenomenon. So, let's jump right back in. I curtsy as Melanie walks off, leaving me alone with Varg. I cannot help but feel uneasy in his presence. Something about him puts me on edge. He makes me feel uncomfortable. Excuse me, I have errands to attend to. Wait. Before you head out, I have something to give you. Give me? Varg reaches into one of his pockets and withdraws a letter that he holds out to me. Oh boy. What is this about? Well, I guess you'll have to open it and find out, princess. My blood turns to ice in my veins. He knows I am the princess. That could only mean that he is. I have no idea what you're talking about. Excuse me. I am about to leave when Varg suddenly grabs my wrist. The play is just about to start, princess. You have a responsibility as the main character to perform impeccably until the very end. Otherwise, well, he grins at me. It is the same wolfish smile that he flashed at me during the ball. You might miss out on your fairy tale ending. What? Before I can say anything else, I feel a hand grip my other arm. Someone tugs me back and away from Varg, then comes to stand in front of me. Stay away from her. Rod! Varg looks at Rod, then at me, his smile growing more crooked. What an interesting turn of events. I wonder how this will end for the both of you. Tell me, Melody, what is he to you? We are gonna be silent. No answer, Be in denial all you want. At the end of the day, you're going to have to decide who and what you will choose. Who or what to choose? Silence! You are harassing one of our staff members. Of course, I apologize for my rude behavior, Your Highness. You seem to know a lot about us. Are you I lower my voice. Are you a witch? You're asking the wrong person, princess. He knows who you really are? I think you two are worrying too much about me. After all, I'm just a pawn in this game. Varg dips into an elegant bow and flashes one last smile before walking away. Are you all right? I am. Thank you for helping me. You know I'd do anything for you. Whoa! Wait a minute! What? What? Rod shakes his head before stepping away. Anything? For me? Rod coughs, pulling me from the thought. It is possible that he is a witch, or that he is working with other witches, but we have no evidence to prove it. Until we figure out what's going on, you need to be wary of him. I know. Rod smiles at me gently. He's actually smiling! The look makes my heart thud once, painfully in my chest. Stop staring at me like that. Rod looks away, his cheeks tinged red. I feel my own cheeks warm at the sight. I wasn't staring at all. You must be crazy. Both of you are hopeless. Shut up, Sebby. Rod gives me one last look before finally turning and walking away. I place my hand over my chest where I can still hear my thudding heartbeat. This feeling. If it is what I think it is, then I have no right to feel that way about him. He is yes, exactly, he is my stepbrother after all. I shake my head to clear the thought, then glance down at the letter that Varg just delivered to me. There is only one sentence written on it. Come to the throne room alone tonight. Ooh, Chapter 9, The Wedding. The throne room is empty when I arrive. I can only hope that this is not some sort of trap. Soon after I enter, the door squeaks open, and a familiar face enters the room. Sir Mythros! Sir Mythros walks towards me. When he is close enough, he drops to one knee and bows. I frown as I take a step back from him. My princess, do not be alarmed. I know of your true identity. Sir Mythros flashes me a wide smile that causes a shudder to run down my spine. You know who I am! Then that means you are... I take another step back as the blood drains from my face. Sir Mythros' smile only widens at my reaction. I'll say it for you. Yes, I am a witch. If you are a witch, then Sir Alcaster is. A mere human. A fool one. And Varg? Nothing but my personal errand boy. A thought suddenly occurs to me. If Sir Alcaster was plotting against the kingdom, then did Sir Mythros also punish Fritz somehow? What about Fritz? Was he a part of Sir Alcaster's plans? Ah, the knight. To avoid confusing you, let us just say that the situation surrounding him is too complicated to adequately explain. I command you to answer my question, Sir Mythros. Was Fritz a part of this? If it makes you feel any better, he refused to be a part of this. He refused? Does that mean that he was not a part of the plans, or just that he was unwillingly forced to participate in them? I am certain that Sir Alcaster would not be happy that his own son was disobeying him. He either forced him to help or assigned him outside of the palace. But if Fritz knew of Sir Alcaster's plans, why did he not warn anyone about them? Was he working with Sir Mythros as well? Oh, it all makes sense! But I'm not going to say anything until it is actually proven and in our faces in Fritz's route. So, more questions swirl in my head, but none of them have answers. When this is over, I will personally ask Fritz about this, once I can locate him. I shake the thoughts away and bring my attention back to Sir Mythros. Why bother with this reveal? What do you hope to gain from it? Before we start our conversation... Sir Mythros waves his hand, conjuring a faint green glow that envelops the whole room. Just in case someone decides to eavesdrop, I wouldn't want any of your witch friends listening in on us. Yes, I am aware that one of them has been snooping around the palace these past few months. Their snooping has made it more difficult to move around without exposing myself. Sir Mythros clicks his tongue in annoyance. Such a nuisance. He is referring to Delora. She and Parfait warned me before that there was a witch in the palace. Is Sir Mythros truly that witch? Well, I mean, you just saw him cast a spell. No duh. I never really trusted him, not even when I was a princess. Now that he has revealed himself as a witch, I need to know what he plans on doing. You knew that I was the princess this whole time, yet you never offered me any assistance. If I had, Alcaster would have targeted you as well. What? Alcaster wanted to dispose of the royal family. If he had known you were the princess, he would have been after you too. It would have been easier with no one remembering you as the princess. But unfortunately, Fritz told his father about you, thinking that Alcaster might be able to help and protect you, and it didn't help that Varg confirmed it. Your mother wouldn't have been happy with me if I put you in harm's way. That is why I had to pretend not to know you in order to protect you. Sir Mythros was silent for a few moments before he speaks again. Revealing myself to be a witch was necessary. I had to make myself appear useful to Alcaster somehow after all. Then, of course, I learned of his foolish plans to steal the crown, and decided to thwart them, though not before I stole something from Alcaster first. I played him like the fool that he was. I told him I would aid him with my magic, so long as he gave me the knight's protection. Using magic is almost impossible in this palace, so having the knights to back me up was crucial. The knights? What does he need the knight's protection for? What are his plans? Sir Mythros starts pacing the room, his expression still calm. I found out that he planned to dispose of me after he obtained what he needed, so I disposed of him first. Alcaster might have been able to convince most of the knights to aid him by promising them promotions, but, well, my magic is far more convincing. Sir Mythros stops in front of me, his deadpan expression transforming into a smile. For now, let us desist speaking of my plans. The minute Alcaster's plans were thwarted, I knew I had to contact you directly. I am happy to see you in the palace, Your Highness. Although, we really need to get you out of those clothes soon. A maid's clothing does not befit a princess like yourself. That does not matter. My priority right now is to break my curse. Of course. They must truly have been frightened to feel the need to curse you. I feel an uncomfortable tug in my heart. To think that the Lucius bearer would actually allow a witch to curse you. Sir Mythros shakes his head, disgust written on his features. When you suddenly disappeared that day, it was as if all traces of your existence had vanished. I searched for you endlessly, Princess. When you first appeared here in the palace, I did not recognize you immediately, but I felt a touch of magic in you and investigated. My curiosity is what prompted me to investigate you further. When I tried hard enough, I found that I could see through the glamour that had been cast on you. So, Sir Mythros truly was the witch Parfait was referring to when she mentioned someone seeing through the glamour. Imagine my surprise when I found out that it was actually you. That fairy bearer has been nothing but a nuisance to us witches. First she betrayed your mother, and then she betrayed you before she had even met you. But Mother! She was the Tenebrarum bearer corrupted by darkness. Parfait only did what she had to. Sir Mythros looks at me, clearly surprised. What lies have those people been whispering in your ear? Everything the Queen did, she did for us witches, to protect us from the wicked humans who destroyed our kind. It is clear to me where Sir Mythros' alliances lie. Sir Mythros sighs, runs a hand through his hair, and then continues speaking. On your 18th birthday you will follow her footsteps. You will make this kingdom a place for all witches to prosper. I am nothing like her. I refuse to make people suffer to fuel the crystal. I never bore witness to the suffering the people had to go through during my mother's reign, but the stories are enough to reveal her true nature to me. It was hard to believe at first, but those people do not have any reason to lie to a servant like myself. They have nothing to gain from it. I finally understand the hatred people had for me, or why the hatred people had for me ran so deep. Even when I did nothing to them, it was because I was the witch's daughter. Your mother wouldn't be happy to hear you say that. Let me assure you that this is not a destiny you can run from, dear princess. As my voice cracks. I will not let destiny control my life. I feign tiredness by releasing a long yawn. I am sorry for cutting you short, Sir Mythros, but please excuse me, I am getting tired. I am about to walk past Sir Mythros when he starts speaking again, his voice a low whisper. I notice that you have been getting closer to the family you so despised before, the prince included. I narrow my eyes at him. You care about him, don't you? I must confess that this surprises me, Princess. Such a relationship would certainly be a scandal. Even if you two are not blood-related, he is still your stepbrother. Whatever will your dear father say about this? I clench my fists. He has no right to lecture me. I already know that these feelings are wrong. I know that I cannot have them. I assure you that there is nothing between the both of us. Oh, is that so? Are those the lies you utter just to convince yourself? This man is beginning to try my patience. Allow me to share a little secret with you, Princess. I am not interested. I head for the door and reach for the knob. Oh, but I think it's something you would be most curious about. I do, after all, know the consequences of the prince failing to break his curse. I also happen to know that someone special to him is getting married tomorrow. My hand freezes. How do you know about all this? I know all of the happenings around this place. That is my job, Princess. Now tell me, do you know the ending of to the fairy tale of the Little Mermaid? My blood runs cold when I remember what Melanie told me about that fairy tale. If the prince fell in love and married someone else, the Little Mermaid's heart would break and she would dissolve into sea foam. I conducted my own investigation and actually met the witch who bestowed the curse on the prince. In meeting her, I found out everything that there was to know about it. I turned to regard Mythros with a frown. Ah, it seems I have finally gotten your attention. What do you plan on doing to Rod? Sir Mythros shrugs. To him? Nothing really. I was merely curious. I wanted to know what you saw in him. What do you know about his curse? It stays true to the fairy tale, only in this case, the prince gives up his voice for a title. Still, it will end the same way. The girl will fall in love with someone else despite his sacrifice. You mean? On his beloved's wedding day, the prince will die. I had thought you might have reached the same conclusion. Tragic, don't you think? I had the same thought, but is Rod truly going to die? So, the reason Rod gave up breaking his curse was because he knew that Viorica would never love him back. He knew that he was going to die the moment Viorica married. Dread begins to wash over me. Why not ask him yourself? As if orchestrated by magic, the double doors open and Rod steps inside. When he sees me, his expression relaxes. I have been looking all over for you. I wanted to speak with you about my discussion with Lady Parfait. I turn around to face Sir Mythros once again, but to my surprise, he is already gone. When did Sir Mythros leave? Melody, is something wrong? Was Sir Mythros really speaking the truth? We're going to confront him. Is this how you really want things to end? What are you talking about? Have you even thought about what your family will feel after they find out that you lied about your curse? You are going to die when Viorica gets married tomorrow, am I right? That is why you told me that there is nothing I could do to help you break your curse. Because there really is nothing you can do to help me. Viorica will never return my love. I already accepted my fate a long time ago. Lady Parfait was the only one who insisted I find another way to break my curse. Because she refuses to give up on you, and I will not give up on you either. I've been aware of another way to break my curse from the beginning, but I would rather die than do what it is I need to do. Do what? Have you not read... Rod's voice trails off when he sees my confused expression. He clears his throat. Forget it. There is nothing more you can do. The reason I never told anyone the truth of my curse is... I'm sorry, guys, is because I never wanted anyone to blame themselves for not being able to help me. I was already a lost cause from the moment Viorica really fell in love with someone else. I could never take that happiness away from her. But that is all the time that I have for this episode, guys. So if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up down below. And if you haven't already subscribed, by subscribing, you're becoming part of a legacy. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye!